I guarantee you will not have to watch another video on feminine hygiene after this one. I am sick of the endless conflicting advice online, and if you're unsure about what's real and what's not, then this guide will give you the clarity you need, backed by science and tailored just for you. My name's Faye and I'm a medical doctor working in London, obsessed with self-development, women's health and facts over fiction. Today we're diving into a topic that we all care so much about but may feel too awkward to discuss. Feminine hygiene. From TikTok trends to old wives' tales, it's easy to feel confused about what's best for your body. But do not worry, I have sifted through all the noise to break it all down, to bring you research-backed tips that will leave you feeling confident, informed, and most importantly, smelling incredible. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to care for your body head to toe, and my personal product recommendations to fit seamlessly into your daily routine. So let's kick it off with chapter 1, the Skin Symphony. Your skin is the largest organ in your body, and taking care of it doesn't just mean remembering to wash your face every night. But there are so many ways that you could be going completely wrong, including in something as simple as your daily showering routine. So here is my favourite feminine hygiene tip when it comes to showering that I promise you will not find anywhere else. You don't need to be using soap. And to explain, I'm going to need to conduct a little experiment you may have already done in school. Dale, would you mind bringing me a container I can shake, put water in it, and then some oil? Thank you. So this, my friends, is why washing with water is not enough. Now, as you can see, the water and the oil remain firmly separated. Even if we shake it really well, eventually the water and the oil will still remain separate. Imagine the sweat and dirt on your body like oil. If we wash with water, it's not gonna get it off. But now let's see what happens when we add soap. Cleansers and soaps contain compounds called surfactants which allow oil to be broken down.
But Faye, I thought you said that we don't even need to be using soap.
Correct. You could actually swap your cleanser or soap for something that is less drying and stripping of your skin. Let me explain. If you have normal skin that isn't very sensitive, I would opt for a gentle, unfragranced cleanser, like my personal favourite, the Cetaphil Gentle Skin Cleanser. But if you have sensitive, dry or irritated skin and you feel like no matter how much you moisturise, you can never quite get your skin smooth, you could use something called an emollient. Emollients feel and look like moisturizers, but you can still actually wash with them and they will break down the oil and dirt on your skin and be much kinder on your skin. Now I'm going to tell you how to get silky smooth. So we need to discuss exfoliants. Times have changed a lot since every influencer and their dog was pushing the St. Ives body scrubs. Please, let's not go back there. Because physical exfoliants might make your skin feel amazing initially, but they can cause micro tears in your skin, causing damage and dryness. Chemical exfoliants, however, when used as instructed, are a lot more effective at resurfacing the skin over time to reveal baby bottom smooth skin that you have wanted for years. And when used correctly, are less likely to damage the skin barrier. Examples of really good chemical exfoliants are lactic acid, glycolic acid, salicylic acid, and urea. You can either buy these ingredients in things like toners, so like the glycolic acid toner from The Ordinary, this salicylic acid toner that is Superdrug own brand but a almost identical dupe for the Paula's Choice salicylic acid toner, or you can buy moisturizers with these ingredients integrated into them. For example, this salicylic acid moisturizer, again Superdrug own brand, this is overall just an incredible range of products, or this urea moisturizer which I personally love to use on my feet. For the gym girlies or city commuters who keep getting random breakouts or acne, let's talk about the hero product that will stop this, that you need to keep in your gym bag or your work bag at all times. say hello to hypochlorous acid. A quick spray all over after your workout or after you've been exposed to the disgusting London Underground at 8 AM will remove bacteria, smooth inflammation and redness, and is clinically proven to prevent those pesky breakouts. Cleansing your face thoroughly at night is essential for removing any makeup, dirt and oil that accumulate over the day. But if you also find yourself sweating quite heavily during the day, you can also give your face a quick spritz of hypochlorous acid to give it a midday refresh. But for a lot of people, if you don't sweat that much, then you could actually be overwashing your face. And science shows that this could erode our skin's natural barrier and strip the skin of its essential oils, leading to dryness and irritation, which is counterproductive, so that obsessive cleansing could be doing more harm than good. Depending on your skin type, you might actually benefit from skipping the harsh cleanser twice a day and reducing that to just cleansing once in the morning and then washing with warm water at night. The British Journal of Dermatology highlights that mild, fragrance-free cleansers are the key to maintaining a healthy skin barrier. Over scrubbing or using harsh products can lead to irritation and even infection. Remember, your skin is your first line defense between you and the environment, so treat it with care. Chapter 2, let's talk about your crowning glory, aka your scalp. And first of all, I need to apologise. For years, I have promoted one of the worst feminine hygiene myths that is sabotaging your hair growth goals: the slick back bun. I was the slick back bun's #1 fan. If you've been here a while, you will know that there was a period of approximately 3 years where you basically didn't see my hair in any other style whatsoever. That was until I realised how horribly damaging it is. Let me explain. So I bleached my hair for approximately a decade, resulting in my hair being thin, lifeless and falling out. Hence, about 3 years ago, I decided I was going to rebuild my hair health and stopped the bleaching. As you can imagine, after all those years of bleaching that I put my hair through, my scalp was not a happy gal. I was one of those girls that if I washed my hair in the morning, it would be greasy by 2 PM. Around this time, I was also exposed to misinformation on social media about how you could train your hair to not get greasy by not washing it and extending the amount of period that you didn't wash it for, and also information that told you that by not washing your hair and letting the natural oils build up on your scalp,
you're doing your hair a favour. You're giving it all those natural oils that are going to help it grow.
So during this 3-year period where I basically lived in a slick back bun, I would go upwards of a week without washing my hair at all. And even worse, I would try and mask it with bottles and bottles and bottles of dry shampoo, not realising how damaging that was as well. Your scalp is often the most neglected part of your skin. The acne on your forehead could be caused by the buildup of the oils on your scalp. Your hair not growing, neglecting your scalp. Your hair getting greasy very quickly. Your scalp is trying to send you a message. Another massive misconception is that people with kinkier, coilier hair don't need to clean their scalps as often as well. Also not true. And for my girls with coilier, kinkier hair, I cannot recommend Curl Bella enough. She, #1, has the most soothing voice in the world. #2 is just an incredibly lovely person. But #3, she is the creator who introduced me to all the misinformation that we are fed about our scalps and hair health, because she is a qualified trichologist, which is an expert in hair and scalps. Remember, your scalp is skin, and also remember the experiment from the beginning. As the days go on, bacteria, oil and dirt all build up on our scalp, and we need something more than water to whip it away. So products I swear by for a healthier scalp: #1, a good clarifying shampoo that's gonna break it all down. #2 is a ketoconazole shampoo. This one is really popular, but Boots also do their own version, which is cheaper, and you just want to be using it a couple times a week. Lather it in your hair, leave it for about 5 minutes and then wash it out. This is actually an antifungal product that can treat flaky scalps, but it is also scientifically proven to improve hair growth, and some studies even suggest it can increase the diameter of your hair strands. Meaning, for my fellow thin-haired girls who've been let down by our genetics, this could make our hair a little bit thicker. Next, for the greasy-haired professional girls who know they should be washing their hair more, but they simply do not have time, may I introduce you to the Bioderma micellar water for oily skin. On non-hair wash days, you're simply going to get a little bit of this, pop it on a cotton wool pad and run it over your hair to actually quickly cleanse your hair, rather than dry it out with dry shampoo that can actually cause scalp irritation and even breakage of the strands of your hair. Chapter 3, let's talk about OnlyFans girls' feet. You know, the girls who are selling their feet pics for thousands of pounds online without even having to expose any other parts of their body, making more than I make in a year in a month. Regardless of whether you want to make your feet look flawless so you can make a little bit of cash on the side, I'm not one to judge, or you just want your feet to look incredible the next time you pop on sandals on holiday, then here is the foot routine that you're going to want to get to know. Firstly, remember when you're washing your feet in the shower to pay particular attention to the forgotten region in between the toes. These are the areas that are prone to become the smelliest throughout the day because of the friction and being trapped in shoes all day. Make sure you're washing them thoroughly, and when you get out the shower, also drying them thoroughly with a towel, because if they remain a little bit moist, you are basically inviting bacteria to come and join the party and make your feet stinky, because moisture is the ideal environment for bacteria to grow. Now, when you know that bad bacteria is often the cause of bad smells, that means that there are products we can use to our advantage to target the bad smells caused by bad bacteria. You could consider using a benzoyl peroxide wash like Panoxyl. And how does it work? Well, it is a bacteria killing agent, stopping the bad smells in their tracks. Or you could consider using Hibi Scrub, which is also a bacteria killing agent. That's original use is for patients before surgery to minimize the amount of bacteria on their skin so they're less likely to get infections. And finally, you're going to use a chemical exfoliant on your feet regularly. The skin on our feet goes through a lot, whether it's walking or running or just being stuck in sweaty socks all day. Much like a girl who's just come out of a toxic relationship, it becomes very hardened as a coping strategy. Oh my God. But as we know, this is not a healthy coping strategy. So we're going to break down that hard exterior with something like a urea moisturizer or a glycolic acid toner. Chapter 4, Pit Perfect. Similarly, if you're a sweaty underarm girly who has to keep her arms firmly fixed by her sides every day past 12 p.m, then you can also consider using a benzoyl peroxide wash or Hibi Scrub on your armpits when you're in the shower, and then when you come out, dry your pits thoroughly so there is not a single drop of moisture, and then put a little bit of glycolic acid toner on a cotton pad and rub over your armpits. This will obliterate the bacteria that colonize your underarms and cause BO. Chapter 5, one that is very close to my heart and not discussed enough, V-Harmony. Yes, we are going to delve into the most intimate of areas. As I'm so passionate about this topic, I really want to make a full video on feminine hygiene myths. So if that is something that you'd like to see, make sure to comment down below to let me know, and subscribe so you do not miss the video if I make it. Walking through the feminine hygiene section in a supermarket can feel like marketing overload, but do you actually need any of these products? The truth? No. I'm gonna hold your hand whilst I say this. Your vagina is self-cleaning. And most of these products do more harm than good. But what do I mean when I say vagina? Because according to a 2019 YouGov study, 45% of women could not label their vagina. So let's have a quick anatomy lesson to clear this up once and for all. Because if you do not know where your vagina is, you could quite literally be doing her dirty. No pun intended. The vagina is the muscular, collapsible internal tunnel. That is a self-cleaning, self-regulating powerhouse that does not need any douching or femme fresh to keep her clean and happy. She is the original independent woman. In fact, a study in obstetrics and gynecology even found that women who douche regularly were at a higher risk of something called pelvic inflammatory disease, which, among other consequences, can reduce your fertility. The vagina naturally maintains its own balance, and interference can throw it off. If you've watched my video on gut health, you'll already know that the entirety of our body is colonized by bacteria. Bacteria generally has bad connotations, and it has throughout the entirety of this video, but there are some good bacteria that keep our body functioning in equilibrium. Washing out the inside of your vagina can throw off the delicate balance of good bacteria and bad bacteria. And even worse, it can push bad bacteria further up your reproductive tract and cause awful infections. So please do not wash inside your vagina. However, your vulva, aka the area outside your vagina, which is often mistakenly referred to as the vagina, deserves some proper, tender, loving care every day. So to keep her clean, here's what you're going to do. Number 1, use a clean hand, not a loofah or a sponge. If you have good hand hygiene, which I'm hoping you do, using your hand is better than a cloth or a loofah because these harbour lots of bacteria. Step number 2, you're going to take a mild cleansing agent, or if you have drier, more sensitive skin, as mentioned earlier, you can use an emollient. And you're simply going to wash your vulva front to back to ensure you're not transferring any nasty bacteria from your back passage. You do not need a feminine wash. Feminine wash as a concept isn't even real. This is the embodiment of the pink tax. Finally, step number 3, when you get out the shower, as I've mentioned before, make sure you're drying well using a clean towel and getting in between all the little folds of skin to ensure no moisture is left behind, because as we already know, when moisture is left behind, this is the perfect environment for bacteria to grow. And voila, you're done. Keep it simple, keep it clean, and trust your body to do what it's been evolving to do for millions of years. Now, as I gathered all the research for this video, studies, expert insights, and all those important details, it could have very easily become overwhelming. But I'll let you in on a little secret. I had a little bit of help from Unriddle. If you're like me and you love deep diving into the research, but sometimes can get lost in the sheer volume of inspiration, then Unriddle is going to be your new best friend. Unriddle is a game changer when it comes to simplifying and organising complex research. With its AI-powered tools, I could quickly summarise and extract key insights from PDFs, Word documents, even images and videos. Gone are the days when I was in uni spending hours and hours hunting through multiple sources. I simply uploaded my documents and Unriddle instantly provided the most relevant, easy to understand summaries. It also solved the bane of my life when I was a student, citing. Unriddle makes it super easy to cite everything properly. Just highlight the text, click cite, and let Unriddle do the rest. But the best part, it connects related research papers, revealing hidden links between studies, which helped me compile a well-rounded evidence-based approach for this video. Whether you're researching for work, school, or just trying to cut through all the misinformation on social media, Unriddle saves you time and effort while keeping you focused on the content that matters. If you want to get more done faster, then check out unriddle.ai. It's a complete game changer, and I will leave it linked in my description. So what else did I find out using Unriddle to help you? Chapter 6, hair or bear? Let's answer the age-old debate, to bush or not to bush. That truly is the question. Contrary to popular belief, there is nothing unhygienic about pubic hair. The science actually says that it serves as a protective barrier against certain infections, and some studies even suggest that removal of pubic hair can increase the risk of STIs. However, pubic hair does trap dirt and oil, so if you choose to bush, then just remember to use a gentle, unfragranced cleanser to keep it clean. And if you're team bald, then that is absolutely fine too. But here are my personal and doctor approved tips to make sure that you're doing it the right way. Number one, please do not use the same razor on your pubic area that you use on the rest of your body. Number two, make sure you're changing your razor heads every 2 weeks. 3, make sure that you are shaving in the direction of the hair growth. This can reduce the risk of microtraumas, which are the cause of irritation, redness, inflammation, ingrown hairs, and little zits you might get. Using a shaving cream will also reduce the risk of microtraumas. And try and shave after the shower because moisture causes the hair follicles to swell. You could also consider washing the area with something like Hibi Scrub before shaving to kill bacteria and reduce the risk of infections. If you use a hair removal cream, don't let the cream anywhere near your labia minora, aka your inner lips. And if you choose to wax, make sure that you bring a clean set of underwear to the salon to get changed into afterwards. This will avoid introducing bacteria and reduce the risk of infection. And finally, avoid sex for 24 hours afterwards, because that is also going to introduce bacteria and increase the risk of infection. Speaking of sex, let's move on to chapter 7, intimate relations. Another important aspect of feminine hygiene is, of course, sexual health. This, of course, involves getting regularly tested and ensuring your partners are regularly tested too. But I also want to talk about something that really bothers me about a lot of the feminine hygiene videos that are on the internet. A lot of them will tell you that you need to pee after sex to reduce the risk of UTIs. Now, the idea is that by peeing, you're flushing out any bacteria that has been introduced from the relations that could cause a urinary tract infection. Now, research actually says that if you're young, you're healthy, you don't have any other risk factors for UTIs, then weeing within the first 15 minutes after having sex probably won't change the likelihood of you getting a UTI. But I will tell you what will. If you keep getting UTIs after having sex with someone and you feel like you are doing everything in your power to stay clean, you've watched every feminine hygiene video under the sun, you're peeing after sex, and still you keep getting these UTIs, then remember it takes two to tango. And funnily enough, isn't it wild how many feminine hygiene videos there are on the internet? And I don't think I've seen a single masculine hygiene video anywhere. Do with that information what you will. I also want to talk a little bit about smells because this can often be an area of anxiety for a lot of women when it comes to intimacy. During your period, there might be a metallic or slightly unpleasant smell, and that is completely normal. Just make sure that you're changing your pad or tampon or any other sanitary products regularly, and remember that you do not need to wait for them to be soaked through before you change them. But you do not need any yoni products or detox tampons or honey herbal mixes or vaginal deodorants before sex or during your period. A clean, consistent hygiene routine, like what we've discussed, is more than enough. Remember, people were having babies long before showers were invented. Remember, it's normal to have a personal scent that's a combination of your genetics, hormones, your diet, and your lifestyle. Women smell like women. Women do not need to smell like flowers or fruits down there. You are a person, not the high street lush. Chapter 8, let's discuss fresh breath formula. I know you love your morning coffee just as much as me, so we've all been there. Bad breath happens, but it's about so much more than just brushing your teeth. There's a lot more to keeping your mouth fresh. Many people overlook flossing and tongue scraping, focusing solely on brushing. This leaves behind bacteria that could cause bad breath and poor oral hygiene. What's even more eye-opening is that studies have shown poor oral hygiene is linked to diabetes, poor gut health, poor mental health, and even cardiovascular disease. So here's how you're going to keep things fresh. Remember to floss every single night in between each tooth. Why? Well, food gets stuck here and then it stays there, and then it invites bacteria along to come and join it, and suddenly your breath stinks. Imagine if you ate your dinner and then you left that food out overnight on your kitchen countertop. Would you then eat it? No. But you have those little bits of your leftover dinner living in your mouth rent-free, causing your bad breath. Once you've flossed and evicted some of the freeloaders, then I would also recommend scraping your tongue. I will link the one that I've got in my description along with all the other products that I've mentioned. This evicts some of the other uninvited guests in your mouth, aka bad bacteria, that brushing might have missed. And for a quick refresh, the proper technique to brush your teeth is to angle your toothbrush at about 45 degrees, so you're also getting your gums nice and clean. And if you can get an electric toothbrush, it is completely worth it. I have a Surrey, which I believe is the first recyclable electric toothbrush. And also remember to change your toothbrush heads regularly, because this is also a common hangout of your least favourite bacteria. Finally, chapter 9, your gut glow up. You may be overlooking that what we put inside our body is often just as important as what we put on the outside. So many of these feminine hygiene videos highlight all the products you should buy to fix your problems without actually addressing the internal issues that may be causing them. A healthy vaginal microbiome is essential for preventing infections and maintaining overall well-being. Yet many people turn to quick fixes like boric acid, suppositories, without realising that these should only be used under medical supervision. A balanced diet rich in nutrients, high in water and low in refined sugars is a much safer and more effective approach to supporting your body's natural processes. Studies in the Journal of Women's Health show that diets rich in probiotics like kefir, sauerkraut and yogurt help to maintain a healthy vaginal microbiome. This can reduce the risk of conditions like bacterial vaginosis, which is an imbalance in the vagina that can cause a very unpleasant smell. So what does that look like in real life? Start with the basics: water, 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 water. It's your body's best friend when it comes to flushing out and making sure everything is functioning properly. Try incorporate some fermented food into your day, like yogurt for breakfast or drinking some kombucha or enjoying some kimchi. Most importantly, it's about eating fibre-rich foods, so fruits and veggies and whole grains. These are essential for a healthy gut, which directly impacts vaginal health. I did a full video on gut health, which I will link just here. So please skip the boric acid or vaginal suppositories and God knows what else unless your doctor has given the green light. Your body has a natural balance that works best when it's allowed to do its own thing. But on a more serious note, if you have a fishy, foul smell, excessive itching or discharge that isn't normal for you, please go see a doctor. There is no shame in it at all. Anything can throw off your vaginal health, including sitting in a hot tub or being unwell enough that you might need antibiotics. And these are just one of the issues that doctors are trained to treat. I can't tell you how many vaginas, bums and penises I have seen already in my short career as a doctor, and absolutely none of them are memorable. It breaks my heart that I think feminine hygiene videos have become so popular, probably because people are going to the internet before they go to their doctor because they might be embarrassed. The problem with these conversations on topics like feminine hygiene happening on social media is the solutions that are provided from non-healthcare professionals often aren't supported by research and might be providing non-medical solutions that won't work for medical problems. That being said, they're called intimate exams for a reason, and any anxieties you have are completely understandable. Please remember that if you're having any intimate examinations, a chaperone should be present, and if you feel uncomfortable in any way, please ask to see someone else. On a personal note, I had an intimate examination many years ago, and I felt like I was treated a bit like a piece of meat. And ultimately, even though I'm a doctor and I know how important getting your cervical screening is, that experience almost a decade ago meant that I put off my cervical screening for almost 2 years and ended up having precancerous cells that needed to be removed. Every single interaction that you have with a healthcare professional can have profound effects on the course of your life, and I would love to do a full video all about advocating for yourself. So if that is something you would like to see, then make sure to let me know in the comments and subscribing so you do not miss it. Now you have a complete science-backed feminine hygiene routine that's simple and effective, but you may want to know how to become the healthiest, happiest version of yourself this 2025 in this video that I will link just here. Or maybe you want to watch this video which has been specifically recommended just for you based on what you're interested in. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah! Yay!